For my sixth journal entry, I want to talk about how I really noticed a big difference in European culture being a lot more culturally diverse than American culture. So, on one hand, this is to be expected because Europe is comprised of 27 different countries, all pushed very close together, and it's smaller than U.S. And U.S. is one huge country with 50 relatively similar states. For example, I live in Kansas, and when I travel from Kansas to Missouri, everyone still speaks the same language. You pay about the same price for gas. Taxes on products and goods are about the same. The way people interact is about the same, etc., etc., etc. But here in Europe, for example, if I travel from Vilnius or from Lithuania to Poland, then that's two different countries right next to each other, and the languages are different, prices for things are much different, currency is much different, the way people interact is much different. There's just such a drastic change. It's, you know, the stores are different, everything is so much more different than in US. This is, I mean, yes, you can see a difference between people from the East Coast, some from the West Coast, or people from California and Arkansas. Yeah, there's a difference, but I mean, they still speak the same language. They still are familiar, generally speaking, with the country's customs, etc., etc. So yeah, so that's been a huge thing that I've noticed. Also, here in Vilnius, for example, when you travel down the main street, and Vilnius is the capital of Lithuania, when you travel down the main street of Vilnius, easily you could run into people with 25 different nationalities. Poland, Russia, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, Belarus, etc., etc., etc. But in U.S., usually, at least from what I've seen at UMKC, yes, I mean, you do see some diversity between Asian, black, white, but it's not as drastic as I've seen here in Europe. And what also goes into this is the languages that people speak. So, for example, a lot of Lithuanians speak Russian, or Russian and maybe Estonian or Latvian, and their own mother tongue, and oftentimes English. But in U.S., it's very rare to meet someone who is from U.S. and who lives in U.S. and who speaks three languages relatively fluently. So, yeah.